Most welcome to Humans TV Africa. This is Humans TV Africa, and you're watching us live wherever you are. My name is Katom Kasa. In the studio is Dennis Bongole to do the production of the show. And of course, today we continue with our series on agroecology, and we are looking at consumer rights. We are looking at issues to do with agriculture and issues to do with food sustainability, environmental protection, and all. So, this program, every Saturday, we are here to share with you issues in that regard. And today's topic is the importance of participatory guarantee system and the certification. And of course, we're looking at agroecology as a whole. And in the studio is Mr. Bernard Bambale from Consent, Uganda. And of course, we have Mr. Albert Kakande. And of course, we have Mr. Echodo Julius. Now, you are most welcome, colleagues, for this yet another exciting episode. I want to encourage all those viewers to please subscribe, join us, share, like, and comment wherever you find our shows. We are sharing our shows in different countries where we have studios: Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Those Facebook pages of our show continue to share our production. Please continue to share our production in those countries, but also beyond that, so that people can be able to watch us. Now, today we are going to be talking about those issues, and I want to invite Mr. Bamba Bernard to give us a recap and then set us the pace for today's show. Then we will be inviting Mr. Julius to tell us more about the topic today.
Okay, so you're welcome, colleagues, once again to our show this Saturday. And we want to thank you for always following us and always watching our shows. My name, of course, is Bernard Wambale, and I serve with the Global Consumer Center. I also serve with the Food Safety Coalition of Uganda. I wish to welcome my colleagues, Julius and Albert, for joining the show over this weekend, and also other colleagues that are listening to us. Well, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about agroecology, looking at how we can promote organic farming, but also ensuring that people can learn more about agroecology as one of the farming systems that are actually sustainable, but also resilient. And for the last couple of weeks, Julius and Albert have been really sharing with us their practical experience when it comes to agroecological farms, and also taking us through agroecological products that they have been able to come up with as solutions to the farmers responding to pests and diseases of the plants, but really using the locally available materials. And we've been able, of course, to see the role of agroecology in boosting food systems, also in boosting nutritional status, but also in terms of empowering farmers to come up with solutions to address issues of poverty and malnutrition using the available resources that we have. And so today we had agreed that we share about the participatory guarantee system, and we shall be able to go into the details of understanding what participatory guarantee system is. I know we could have had some bit of session around the PGS, but today we want to go into the details of why do we need participatory guarantee system, why do we need the participatory guarantee certification, how can we get it, where are the partners that are dealing with this, how can you get information around participatory guarantee system. I mean, those are the details that we want to go into, but also within the course of the discussion, we want to discuss areas around what has made PGS fail, or what has made PGS, work. Where has it worked? Where has it failed? And where can we improve to make sure that everybody understands the PGS model? So today we are blessed to have Albert and Julius, who will be sharing with us their experiences around the PGS. And of course, I'll also be sharing with you a few elements here and there on the subject of the PGS. So basically, Mukasa, that is it for today. And I wish that now you could take it up from there and we proceed with the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard Bwambale there. Mr. Echel Julius, multiplier, farmer, trainer, we'd like to hear from you. First of all, what we're doing in terms of the PGS talk for today, in terms of certification and others. Please have your say.
Yes,
Mr. Julius, if you can hear me.
Damo. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, good afternoon once more.
Good
Hello.
afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes,
We
good
can hear
afternoon.
you. Please continue.
Okay, I would like to thank my fellow colleagues who have joined us this afternoon. I also want to thank the Humanist TV Africa and the management. I would also like to thank Pelam and the other stakeholders. It is very good that we have introduced a good question this afternoon. That is about the PGS and of course the certification. So these two have been also one of the areas that I personally and everyone is yearning for, because it is also one of the blockages. That's why we cannot really shoot up very fast, even in terms of producing a lot of these naturally organic products and the to go on with the process, because somewhere somehow you're being asked, have you certified, are you registered, are you ABC? So there is a belief that something that is certified it works more than something that doesn't work, which is not what certified. So it is really a very big challenge to everyone. Look at people like Kakande and everyone there who is not mentioned today. So it is really where we need to put a more emphasis to see that we really do the process of certification, because much as we produce, but we also look at to and to raising the revenue for the country, because any country that is productive, then the GDP eventually what increases. But before we talk about that, I would also want to put across something that somebody should be thinking about as we are talking about certification and everything. So as we put the main challenges that with the farmers in Africa at large, you'll find that there is a low soil fertility. That should be the question of the day, and how are we going to put it right. There is also effects of climate change, which is running across different countries, and there is also problems that we need to address after certification. That is due to limited access to safe and sustainable inputs like seeds and the others, biopesticide fertilizers. Therefore, there are some communities, there are some countries that cannot produce that, but due to that limitation, legal documentation doesn't make us to reach out, connect with them. There is also a shortage of low yields, and that one needs to be addressed. There are some countries, there are some areas that cannot. Okay, when we talk about organic agroecology, there are some species of some plants and others which are not available in some other countries or some areas. But yet, for us, for instance, in Uganda, we are almost available with a lot of natural resources in other and also other countries. I believe even Tanzania and also some parts of Kenya. So you'll find that. We shall be in position to co-share what we have and also encourage what we have to reach to other places. Therefore, as in Africa, we'll be in position to see that whatever you lack from this area, you can access it from the other country. So we need to work upon the PGS and of course the the certification. We also have limited access to reliable markets. It is really a very quite challenging because most of our food that is produced, we end up using it, just pour, just, you misuse the food. Yet there are some countries that may be in position to need what? To have food. So for everything to work, then therefore the market accessibility of that what you're doing, that keeps you inspired to do it and to expand it and even to do more research and even produce more things. At the end of the day, we'll be in position to see that we have made our country, our continent, that is Africa, being productive. Because if we produce from Africa, then we also produce, we can also sell to other countries. There's been a challenge in different areas, managing livestock, managing crops, at the same time advisory services. People like Kakande, he could also have time like to go to Congo and wherever because he has enough experience. It's something. So we want to call sharing, networking, and the blockage is certification. It is too slow, and that is what is limiting us. Yet we have the available resources, the skill, and the manpower that can really produce and see that these things are put into quality assurance, and we see that we can produce this, a validation, do all that, and it might put us also somewhere. Like for us in Uganda, when I'm sitting in the vehicle, I see almost every type of plant which is useful as in terms of managing crops and the livestock in every home. So I would like, I also support the idea of the PGS and then the certification, because that is a limiting factor. Otherwise, we would be producing day and night. By now, would be even having bigger shops countrywide, and that's the limiting factor. And also, there is a strong belief that most of the consumers these days of any product or service, they believe on something that has a Q mark certification. So sometimes it scares the builder of knowledge on agroecology, because you may even have produced something that works best for all people, but due to those questions that are answerable, and you may be fearing at the same time to lose your land because or lose any property because you're going to be answerable to court or whatever. So we need really, yet those things can be worked on. We need to join us in the scientists, the university guys. Yeah. So maybe I will also come on, join on later. That is what I wanted to first of all submit at this juncture. Thank you very much. I think we continue.
Yeah, thank you, Julius. Thank you so much, Julius. I've seen your products right there on the screen, and we're doing a lot of good work. But of course, we know that it is very expensive to have these products certified, checked by the systems, so that they can be able to sell freely in the country and in the region. Are there any other measures we have taken? For example, can you share with us what have you done as far as getting your product certified is concerned, so that we can know? Maybe it's a matter of knowing how much it's needed, where to go. Have you done some steps towards getting this certification done, Julius?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. And I think I would want to respond that if you look at the products that are already placed on the screen, you will see that the process is ongoing because we have reached extent of labeling them, also putting them to a certain standard that can make somebody. We have also made a company that is a business name that is Secure Agro Lifeline Consultants. So you'll find that that is a process. And also the other thing that we have done, what I've done is to try out with all areas, all institutions to see that how effective is it. Is the farmer A, farmer B talking the same history, and we are collecting that data, and in that data will help us to guide us in during the process of certification. And also, I have also taken this year around February, I'd taken samples to one of the private laboratory, and they tested their parameters. They're looking good. So we are yet to still carry out the testing, and we can be in position to what to say now. Okay, we we can certify this. So based on the information that we are collecting from the consumers and the people who are using them is what we are trying to build up to back it up so that by the time we walk to the registration desk, we've been sure that surely this thing was taken to Mbarara, this thing was taken to which region, Choli and Teso within where. So that information is what we are going to build up and strongly say that our product is working. But also, given the inquiries, sometimes they tell you that certification can take like about to 5 to 10, 15 years for you to get certified. So we also get scared. How, when will I reach that extent of 15 years so that I certify the product? Yeah, of course, we want also our pockets also to be doing something. So it may try to deviate you from what you're doing because you may think, now 15 years, how will I get this? So that's why we are joining hands with our fellow colleagues who are in the street
Thank you so much, Julius. I know it's a bit a challenge. Getting products, getting items certified is a process, but I don't
to
think
say
it's
that
going to take.
please
Mm.
should yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Hello.
much. Thank you so much, Julius, for sharing with us. But I was saying that don't get discouraged. It's going to take 15 years. I don't think it works that way. I know there are laboratories. I think it's a matter of months or a bit of, yeah, 1 or 2. Once your product is well assessed and once the farmers, the users are also acknowledging how it's being done and how it is being impactful, I do think
Yes.
it won't take 15 years. Don't get worried about the years. Just have your products and let it follow the scientific procedure. Once it's proven right, of course, it will be certified. Now, Mr. Albert Kakande, we go to you, especially because you are a producer, you are
Yeah.
also a maker, an innovator of these products. I've seen them crossing the borders, going to Kenya. You have very good products. Let us talk about, first of all, the process of certification. Because I remember in the previous show, you talked about a certain German professor or scientist who told you that, look, you have to actually put every content of what's within your product. Every content must be put on the face of all the branding of your product, and that was towards certification. So, as far as that is concerned, let us hear from you what Dimusa, organic soil fertilizers, and others, what measures have you taken to walk the journey towards getting certification?
All right. Thanks, my brother. I hope you hear me well, right?
I can hear you. I
Yeah.
can hear you.
I'm really sorry about the background. Sometimes we work on the move, and it catches you in the field. And okay, this is the environment I have now for this weekend. But I hope we sail through very well. thank you guys for making the time. Julius has is worried about the certification. Equally, we are. However, this process now, Julius is in the production of especially animal-based remedies. He has an acaricide and he has animal vitamins and so. Now, his process may differ a little from us who deal with the plants in terms of the process and the requirements. It differs a little. However, it won't take 15 minutes. Don't worry, Julius. What has to be done? The certification
Yeah, we are losing you, Albert. We are losing you a bit. The network is having some issues. Those shall keep on waiting until your network stabilizes. Julius, we look forward to hearing from you now as you fix that voicing of yours. Let
of
us hear
certification
from
with all PDA.
Okay.
I hope you guys.
you. Are breaking, but continue, please. You were
Oh,
breaking.
Yeah.
oh, sorry. It should be
Yes.
my network now. Now,
Okay, I'm getting you now.
um,
What were you saying?
Let
as
us
we
hear
go,
from
Hello.
Albert. Julius, let us hear from Albert first.
then we shall react, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move step by step towards the certification that my brother Julius is talking about. Today we want to talk about the simplest certification of our agroecology product or organic product, the
Mm.
PGA, the Participatory Guarantee System, which will eventually lead us to the national certification and the line ministry certification, of agriculture and more industry and fisheries. Now, what is PGA to start with? Um, in our quest to bring organic
Yes. Network issues today with our brother there,
party
Albert,
certification,
having network issues. Please continue.
I continue. First party
Yeah.
certification, where ourselves, the producers, me, the producer of Jimusa, and my colleagues in the group, we certify. We make assurance that whatever we are producing is agroecologically produced or organically produced and is fit for consumption as an organic product. That is first certification, first level certification, first party certification, ourselves. Now, there is second party certification, where the consumer
Yes, we are having some challenges with our network. Will you bear with us as our colleague will be able to stabilize?
because
Uh,
they have consumed and they can testify that what we said was organic is really organic. So that is second party certification. Now, third party certification is where my brother Julius is is having the worries, where we all have the worries, where an independent third party comes in, an authorized independent party comes in to ascertain, to assure the consumer segment, the nation or the international consumers, the consuming spaces, that what we say that is organic or agroecologically produced is actually organic or agroecological. Now,
mm,
there are standards to be followed. This third party is an independent body that has powers actually to ascertain that the standards followed in the process of producing this product, this Jimusa, is actually agroecological. In Uganda, we have the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda. Now, this is a body that is, is a national organic certified, not only certifying, but the body responsible for the organic spaces in Uganda. We also have an independent body called Uganda Organic Certification, UGOSAS. It is also mandated to inspect as a third party, to inspect and verify that the processes, the people, the processes, and every nitty-gritty of bringing this product on market that is claimed to be organic is actually organic or agroecologically produced. Now, besides those, there are national laws, national guidelines, national certifying bodies, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. It has to come in, you see, because I am producing, I'm bringing a product on market for national consumption. They are, whether organic or not organic, they are charged with ascertaining that this product is actually fit for consumption, whether organically or not. Then we come to the line ministry in charge of the whole sector, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries. Now, because it is the regulator, this one must prove that as the custodian of the agronomical practices of the agronomic soil, of the crop, the animal husband in the country, whatever you claim to be for consumption for farmers, for business,
Julius, please
has
mute yourself. Julius, please mute.
has to be has to be regulated and hence certified. Now, this is the longer process. You know what happens is they will ask you they will ask you to produce a document about your product. Yeah, how it works, what are the results, what are the efficacy tests, is it really fit? You know, I am still claiming it is fit. Therefore, document it and show us facts. Now, after those facts are given to them, they will also employ scientists to prove what you have said. That document is called a technical dossier. You know, now the number of years this one takes, which Julia said it could take up to 15, depending on the parameters, of course. The maximum I can say is about 2 years. Don't worry, Julius. Why? Because if I say that Gimusa fertilizer is capable of uplifting the crop yields of maize from an acre from from 1 ton per acre to up to 3 tons per acre, you know, this will be treated as an allegation to the mother ministry until they prove scientifically that what I'm saying is correct. And hence I will be certified to operate in the national spaces because of what I've said that works. Now, this is where the time is consumed because they will need 3 seasons. This will take 3 planting seasons for them to prove, for them to carry out the test in different regions of Uganda. If we are talking about Uganda, it could be any other country, or it will depend on what the laws or the standards are in the varying countries. But back here in Uganda, it will require 3 different planting seasons in 3 different ecological zones. We could talk about northern Uganda, we could talk about eastern Uganda, we could talk about western Uganda. So these tests have to be done. Now, 3 seasons is 1.5 years or 2 years before they confirm that what you alleged a year and a half ago is actually correct. And hence, you will be given a certificate, a certification that your product is actually agroecological, organic, and is fit for the for consumption of across the national spaces. So that is the certification process. Now, at every stage of that, there is a cost. You see, this is why we say the process is costly, and it takes time. For a lay Ugandan, a lay farmer, telling you to solicit or to mobilize 6,000 US dollars for the certification process is not a simple thing. 6,000 US dollars could be around a figure of 22 to 25 million Uganda shillings. This is big. This is something big for a lay farmer in Uganda. Now, this is what brings the burden on the farmers, and this is what is still a bottleneck limiting the organic farming spaces, because you have to prove that what you said is actually organic and fit for the spaces. So, leaving alone that, I'm now coming back to the gist of today's topic, talking about the participatory guarantee system as a simple approach, as an affordable approach for the organic
Mm.
and agroecological farmers to prove that really what we are bringing on the market is fit for consumption. Participatory guarantee system, we are saying three words: participatory, then guarantee, and it's a system. If you could allow me a few minutes, kindly let me tell my brothers in the background to
Yes, thank you so much, Albert Kakande. Right there is sharing the processes through which you go to get certification. He has talked about three processes or stages: the first party, second party, third party, all those. And of course, he talked about the bodies that first of all you go through as people under organic farmers and production. Then talks about UBOS, the Uganda Bureau of Standards. These are good things because technically we need to have products that are good for consumption.
fit for the market.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, so
Albert,
now
proceed.
I had gone to
Mm,
our gist of the matter today, the participatory guarantee system. Now, before I labor too much to go for the national certification, the
mm,
International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement came up
mm,
with an approach, a simple approach for small scaleholder farmers who are laboring to produce organically. Now, this is an
mm,
approach we call the PGS, Participatory Guarantee System, where now you realize that the fundamentals of this approach is it is based on trust. Trust of who? Of the claiming producers, of the farmers themselves. And then another pillar it's based on is working together, group performance. I mean, group production. Yes. And then we put up standards that we must follow. Standards which ensure that the product is traceable, there is integrity in the production process. It complies not only with the group set standards, but also with the national standards. You see? So there has to be conflict of standards at the small scale farmer group level. Remember, a PGS is a group made up of farmers. We say not exceeding 30, because if you exceed 30, then monitoring and supervision will be difficult. So having seen that this is a system of smallholder farmers who have come together to collectively market and sell an organic product, an agroecologically produced product on the market, the national and international spaces saw it fit to support how? By creating an enabling environment that these people can guarantee the quality of what they have produced and let it be acceptable in the consumption spaces. Hence the PGS, Participatory Guarantee System. Now, what happens here? Take an example. I will take an example of Memago Agroecology PGS Group. Our value chain is in production of organic fertilizers and vegetables. We have farmer number one produces vegetables. Farmer number two, number three, name them up to farmer number 29, for example. Now, we should set standards that number one of all, we are producing agroecologically, organically. Therefore, we must conform with the principles of organic agriculture, the principle of fairness, the principle of ecology, taking care of everything that is around us, the principle of health, soil health, plant health, and then human health. So in soil health, we are feeding the soil naturally with natural means. This is why in the previous episode we have been talking about soil health, the fertilizers now. You see, that's the principle of health. Then the principle of care. In the process of production of our products to the market, has everything, every creature, every stakeholder in the ecosystem been cared of, been taken care of? In the process of making Jimusa biofertilizer, have I left all the earthworms dead? Have I left my neighbors, running away because of the smell? You know, that is the principle of care. We talk about fairness, care, health, and ecology. How about the ecosystem? How have I left the ecosystem? In the process of producing our amaranth, have we cut down a swamp? You know, have we cut down forest cover for us to produce? So those are the principles. Those are the basic principles on which we must build our PGS, hence being called agroecological or organic. Now, what will happen? We talked about. I told you about here. First party certification. Ourselves, we have come together, started in a group, producing organically, and we can ascertain and assure ourselves that we are producing organically. Now, party number two, second party, the consumer comes in to confirm what our claims are, and then the consumer one, consumer two, confirm that indeed those guys are really organic because I have tested what they are bringing for me. I have used it and tested it. It is really organic. Then second party certification is also participatory guarantee system coming. It is also classified as between second party and third party, but not third party because third party must be an independent body. But because we have set up a system where ourselves and our consumers have confirmed that what we are producing, what we are bringing on market for them is actually agroecologically produced or organically produced, therefore we can put up a guarantee system that we can extend to the other market, national or international, that indeed the farmers of Congo village in Ibaka parish of Mende sub-county Wajiso district, where Memago Agroecology PGS claims to have a home, are actually producing organically. Hence the creation of the PGS group, Participatory Guarantee System. First party has guaranteed, second party has guaranteed. We are now setting the standard, setting the rules. We have created committees, supervision, marketing. We are doing research. We are picking feedback from the farmers, and hence we can ensure that our production will be consistent. We are aggregating farmer A, B, C, D, and D's production into one aggregated product that we are sure will be consistent in quality and in quantity and conforms to national standards. Hence, we can now brag as producers of an agroecological product or organic product. You see, you are following how PGS comes up now. From farmer number one to farmer number two coming together to jointly produce now. Keyword is to ensure quality of the organic standards because we are claiming to be organic. In the other sector, where the guys are usually called the neighbors next door, the agrochemical and conventional farmers, they don't need this. They just need a certificate of you are importing and what you produce has a Q mark of the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. You go to the market and sell. But here we are in the organic sector, in the agroecology sector, where we need to prove that what we are actually doing is what we are what we're actually saying conforms to what we bring in the market is actually what it is. Where are the bottlenecks now? The PGS can help us to sell locally for the local market. However, if my product, if Jimusa is going to create the borders, the international borders. The international spaces require that you have a third-party certifier. Now, this is where you go start in Uganda. It could be EcoSat somewhere in Uganda also, or another certifying body in another country comes in to give you a certificate that you actually conform with the standards of production in agroecology of organic. Now, this is where the smallholder farmers find problems. That process is costly. However, we must work with that process because we want to sell as a PBS across all sections of the market, local and international. Now, as the organic certifier comes in as a third party, there is a national certifier also of quality charged with certifying quality of consumable products on the market, whether organic or not organic. That is now, for the Ugandan case, we have the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Not only that, we are producing from the land. We are it's agriculture. Mother Ministry of Agriculture has to also certify that you are actually allowed and permitted to produce like you claim, organically or agroecologically. So PGS will help us with the local market, but if we want to sell internationally, we must walk the journey of the certification process. It starts with the small steps. Internationally, PGS is accepted, but not all international markets will accept this. They have their own certifying bodies they want to recognize. So I wanted to clarify that before my brother Julius worries, let us consolidate and make solid of the PBS system. Then this one will propel us to the national and international standards. What is worrying is if you claim you are participatory guarantee system and you claim you have conformed to the standards of producing agroecological and organically, but then division comes in and everything is wanting, you are not even 30% conforming to the international standards. I talked about IFOAM, the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement. If you are not conforming, then you need to check yourself. So these are some of the bottlenecks we still are facing, that our farmers are willing to engage and do and work in groups. PBS, FFLG, there's also an approach called the Farmer Family Learning Group. It's similar to PBS, but just slight deviations here and there. But then, are farmers willing to 100% comply to the standards? You know. So that's a brief of PGS. Coming back to our topic of the day, and how we can sustainably feed this market of agroecology with that kind of a good approach. So it's still a journey. PGS is young. It's not fully accepted. One of the challenges is it's not fully accepted across the market, you know. And another challenge is the consumers out there have not attached yet a value on an organic or agroecologically produced banana or fertilizer. They don't yet see the difference. It is our work now to train, disseminate the knowledge, teach, preach as far as we can, so as we are so that we are actually accepted and our approach is really accepted and things to be to the last farmer in the field. So that is PGS, and that is how this approach can actually sustain agroecology, because the standards are actually embedded within agroecology. You must perform within the standards of agroecology and organic. So PGS is here. It's a very nice approach to sustain us. Bernard will agree with me, because he will lay down the standards of I being called being branded as agroecological. If I follow those ones to the latter, PGS is one of the approaches that is a steward, actually a monitor, class monitor to sustainability of agroecology. Back to
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kakande. I've listened to you, and of course, my colleagues were listening because we wanted to take a lesson without interrupting you. That's why we normally here give our hosts time to explain issues. Now, I want to bring in the expert from the consumer activist point of view, Mr. Bwambale Bernard. We have had the two innovators, the makers of these products. But your work as Consent is to ensure that, among others, we get the best products on the market. We've been talking about that. Today we're talking about PGS. We're talking about certification. How do consumer consent come in as an organization? How do you intervene to ensure that what Kakande is doing, what Julius is doing, and others does not endanger our environment, does not endanger our food production? How does Consent Uganda come in, and how do you support them?
Okay, yeah, well, thanks, Kato. I think Albert must be having a PhD in PGS. There's a way he has talked about PGS in the detail that if someone was in school, these are like 3 semesters in in 10 minutes. So it's really good that our people are just lacking information around the participatory guarantee system, just like they lack information around the organic and agroecological principles. But looking at the consumer, you know, being a system, when you talk about the participatory guarantee system, it's not only the farmer that is participating. From the participatory world, we are looking at different actors within the food system participating to guarantee each other that actually the food that these farmers are producing is actually agroecologically produced or organically produced. So as consumers, we're actually supposed to be part of the guarantee system because we are the ones doing the guarantee. You know, when it comes to the guarantee system, the consumer is at the heart because he's the final person who's going to receive the product. And so if he wants the organically made or organically produced item, he has to be in the know of the traceability. Where is it coming from? Who is producing it? Are the processes okay? So actually the consumer is part of the reviewers of the PGS. So the consumer is actually the one guaranteeing that actually this product was one produced organically, it was processed, it was organically processed, etc. So this is where the consumer is actually key. You cannot have a PGS without a consumer because it's the consumer making the final decision.
Is that what Kakande called the first party certification process? Because I remember him talking about first party. I think that was
party of the consumer. Now the consumer, yes.
Yes, exactly. So in that process, you have the farmer who is actually giving you the food. You have also the traders in there. You also have the consumers. So everybody within the food system is actually supposed to guarantee. So a farmer cannot come and say, for us, we are doing the PGS when the consumer has not actually guaranteed. So this is where the consumer comes in. But maybe looking at now sustaining the safety of the food that has been produced by the people who are already guaranteed, who are part of the participatory guarantee system, is an issue that we take seriously. That if you're a group of people and you have accepted that the methodology you're going to use to deliver food is going to be in a participatory manner and is going to be guaranteeing each other and you're going to have certification of this, the question remains, how safe is the food that you're giving out? You know, you can do organic, you can do agroecological food, and then it ends up unsafe. So in that case, you have organically unsafe food. So in that case, you will be you'll already be affecting the consumer, who by default is supposed to be having organically safe food, and then here you're busy giving them organically unsafe food. So the PGS. So the PGS helps us from the consumer perspective to guarantee that the food you're producing, first of all, is organic or agroecological, but also it is safe. The moment that food is organic or agroecologically produced, but when it doesn't meet the safety standards, we do not guarantee that food. So it must meet all the principles up to the safety issue as the final verdict of that kind of food. So if it is a case, we are going to say that, okay, you have done organic principles, you've protected the environment, etc. But the mere fact that you have had a step which is making it unsafe, then we cannot guarantee it. So you go off the list of guarantee of the participatory guarantee system. So one of the beauty that we have with the guarantee system is that it can allow people to have access to organic food easily, because you have a group of many people who are actually saying, no, this is it, we have seen it, we have confirmed it, and we are guaranteeing that this is safer food. So there is always you create an opportunity for domestic consumption of safer food, organically produced, and etc. So when there is guarantee system, we are very sure that there can be also competition, because if us the
Yes, Bambali there, network is challenging him, but we are listening. He says it can be organic but unsafe. So how do we ensure that what is organically produced, it is also safe food? So that's why today we're talking about the participatory guarantee system and the certification. We want to have safe food that is organically produced. Bambal, if you can hear me, please continue. You had a hiccup there with your internet. Continue as we move towards concluding this show. So as Bambale gets back into the show, I'm going to make just that comment, then invite Kakande to give us another take, because what Bernard has raised is the issue, a possibility of having organically produced food that is not safe. So he was emphasizing the issue of ensuring that this food is not only organically produced, but it is equally safe. Now, on that, Albert, in a minute, if you can hear me, you would add something there as we conclude in the next 6 minutes. You have
All
2
right.
minutes to conclude.
Okay. Bambale talked about organically produced and safe food. And
Yes.
actually, this is a gift of the word guarantee, a guarantee
Mm.
system. Yes.
Mm.
That, I mentioned about it, that we have set standards, the process of
Mm.
having this product on the market. Wambale also mentioned this, that the times have come now that the consumer wants to know the whole value chain until this product comes to the store where I buy it. What is
Yes.
like what is the journey? What is the journey of this product? Now, I claim to have brought organically raised produced tomatoes on the market. I am the
Mm.
consumer. I have come for the tomatoes from the farm, from the group that produced them. The standards were set, but along the way in the transportation, there came
Mm.
contamination on the truck. You see, by the time my consumer gets my tomato, it has interfaced with the residues here and there. It could be Vaseline due to handling. It could be the handler was a lady and she had treated her hair, things like that. Now, our system, the guarantee system, ensures end to end. You know, in IT, this is what they call end to end encryption. End to
Mm.
end encryption. Now, ours is end to end to end safety. We must ensure that that when the product leaves the farm, it actually arrives at the store alive, alive. You know, and that we limit. That is what the guarantee. That's why a typical pig. Those are the issues that typical pigs must conform to, must be, because the standards are set that in the production process, there's there's the production team, there's the marketing team. As the product leaves the production process en route to the market, what are the marketing? What gaps have we put? What gaps have we closed to avoid the contamination here and there? I think that's what Wambale was saying. I could continue
exactly,
from
yes,
where I
exactly,
stopped. Yeah.
exactly, yes.
Continue,
Yes,
I don't know
Bambale,
that you're able to hear me now.
we can hear you. We are making interpretation of what you have said, and
Okay,
please, may you
great, great.
conclude?
So as
Mm.
the consumers, Whereas when there is a PGS, there is a likelihood that okay, so in the presence of the PGS, there is a likelihood that the consumers will demand more of the safer food that the PGS is actually providing. So in this case, the people who are in the PGS producing food, they must ensure that there is adequate supply for the consumers. Because once the consumers now have loved the product and they want to take it on, they want to adopt consumption of such products. What has been always the frustration is that now in the middle, when everyone is on board, everyone is willing to take on safer food, then the supply gets off. Then people start wondering, now where do we go? So you find that now the consumers who had had a step in coming into consumption of safer food, they relapse the momentum because now the food that we thought we would get from the PGS is no longer being supplied. So you find that now the consumer starts going back and forth, looking at now where do we go, and then people end up in unsafe food again, which is a very big risk to the health of the consumers. So what comes with the PGS, we have to ensure that there is constant supply of these healthy foods, because for us at the consumer level, from the consumer perspective, we are promoting production of safer food. After promoting production, we now go back to the consumer and say, guys, look here, there is safer food somewhere here. Please let us go for safer food. It will be very bad that now when we are promoting safer food, then it goes off the market. There is a time one of our colleagues started a venture in organic eggs. So from the organic eggs, we started promoting organic eggs. And then in the middle, 6 months down the road, the colleague ran out of supplies of organic eggs. And then people came back to us and said, but you said the organic eggs, we started eating them, now they have disappeared, now we need them. So with the PGS, because you are quite a number of people, you are able to get, guarantee each other, and you have collective marketing, and you're able to get a big deal of competitiveness in the business. Because if you are many and you are collectively putting things together, you can easily get a competitive cost, and you can be able to sell your produce at a better price. Consumers are willing to pay for any extra cost as long as the food is safe. So this is where now the guarantee system is very much required for us, the consumers. We need people to guarantee each other, and we are able to get constant supply, and then we are able to get safer food all through the year, and that makes us happy. But otherwise, if we don't guarantee each other, there's a likelihood that people can fake things and they give us counterfeits, and at the end of the day, a consumer is the one who suffers with the health costs, but also the health issues that come along with unsafe products. And maybe
Yes, Bernard, as we conclude, you are having some technical issues right there, but I've been hearing you loud and clear. You're looking at issues of certification and participatory guarantee system, and ensuring that we have safe and organic food production, especially in Africa, where food production is the oxygen that's many economies that basically rely on, because we are largely a food producing continent basing on agriculture. So today I've been looking at the issues to do with
the PGS comes in.
Yes, Bernard, continue as we conclude. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes, Bernard. So, yes, we have challenges as we conclude this show, but it has been a nice show sharing, of course, issues to do with certification. How do we ensure that we have safe food, safe organic food on the market?
Yeah.
So the experts and practitioners have been sharing with us what they are going through. Those who have been able to make some innovation and some products, they've been sharing with us what they do to ensure that we have the best products on the market. So in the studio today, it has been Bernard Bwambale from Consent Uganda, and of course from the other side of Memago, we had Albert Kakande, and we had Julius Echedu joining us in the studio now. Bambali, if you can hear me,
Yes, please.
we had some technical
Yes, please.
glitches toward the end. I would like you
Yes.
to make your conclusion. I was trying to patch up the gaps when your internet was losing touch,
Yeah,
but you
sure.
can now
The
confirm.
internet,
Mm,
the internet was a little bit poor. So thank you, colleagues. So I
mm,
was saying that with PGS, as the consumers are able to directly participate in making decisions on the standards of a
mm,
particular product that we would want to eat or would want to consume. So it makes it really very good, a good process or system that allows consumers to be part of the process of coming up with the standards. But also because we have to guarantee that the product is safe, we are able also to
mm,
serve other consumers elsewhere because we shall have guaranteed on their behalf that the product is actually safe for us. So, but also, of course, because the process is a little bit, it's more or less transparent, you are able to know where the product is coming from. We are able to actually increase the sales for the farmers or for the producers because we are guaranteeing that Banange, this product is very safe. Use it. So we are able to
mm,
increase the network of consumers who are taking up a particular product. And also we are
mm,
able to continually advise the producers on the particular standard. If at all the standard has gone down, we are able to quickly tell them that please look here, this product is no longer meeting the standard that we had agreed upon. So this is where now PGS becomes a very important aspect. And actually, we can even bring on board the chefs in the restaurants, in the hotels, if we guarantee
mm,
that a farmer X is producing this kind of food which is safe and we have confirmed it, then the marketers, the traders, the restaurants, they will all come and buy from that farmer. So that's how important PGS can be, that you have linkages from all over because of the nature of the standard that you have and different people have guarantee to it. And maybe lastly, PGS allows information sharing. I think Albert
mm,
didn't talk about it, but there is a lot of cross learning that happens within the PGS. Remember, you have a
mm,
farmer, you have a trader, you have a vendor, you have even the leaders, actually, they are part of the PGS. So you find that there's a lot of knowledge sharing, there's a lot of information sharing, there's a lot of co-creation that happens along the PGS. So at the end of the day, you find that everybody is on board, ensuring that what is coming out is safer for the consumer, it benefits the consumer, and as the consumers, by the way, are willing to pay for extra costs that come along as long as the food is actually safe, as long as the food meets the needs and the standards that we have agreed upon. So I think we need to embrace, we have to embrace PGS, and I call upon always the governments to embrace this and support farmers and PGS groups to make sure that one, they receive certification timely. Number two, they are able to have capacity building come on board. They are able to have awareness creation. The government is able to promote them. And then we are able also to advertise the products that are coming from the participatory guarantee system. And I think with that, with all these linkages, then the economy can increase. We can eradicate poverty. We can promote our people. We can make sure that everyone is on board in ensuring proper food systems. I thank you, and I think that will still be my shot at the end of the show. And I hope people are able to hear me and get me live and clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bambale Bernard, right there. It was really good having you in the studio and, of course, making interpretation of what the experts in innovation had said. Now, Mr. Julius, if you can hear me, we are concluding. We have gone beyond our time. But if you can hear me, Julius Echedu, can you please give us your parting shot, if possible, in a minute or two? Julius, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please share with us what you want people to remember from today's show from you. Julius, as you organize yourself, let us hear from Albert Kakande. Kakande, give us your parting shot for today's show.
Yeah.
Mm,
Thank you,
mm,
Zekato. My parting shot today is
mm,
we are calling upon our government, our power holders, uh, to embrace and support. Yes, we know we have mainstream extension services from the government, but if they could incorporate the agroecological organic agriculture knowledge within their systems, let's collaborate and work together We disseminate the knowledge together, and we change our ecosystems and our communities out there, than only considering the conventional knowledge as the most important. These guys will agree with you that if I go to the market, I want something that is chemical free. But then if you send your extension worker, you are telling him to preach what you don't actually mean. You don't actually what eat. So if we could collaborate, innovate around empowering these farmers, these smallholder farmers, to create these groups and be able to transform our land, transform our soils as they transform themselves via income. So collaboration, innovation, investment in knowledge for the farmers will take us miles with the TGS system. I thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Albert Kakande. That was quite an insight for today's show. I want to invite again, Bwamba, give us your parting shot, and of course, say goodbye for the show.
Well, thanks. So I have always learned that I've been making a joke with the Ministry of Agriculture, and I told them that it seems it is becoming a ministry of conventional farming. All inputs they are bringing on board, all systems they are thinking about, all manuals they are writing, they are all geared towards, more or less of, fertilizer, more or less of chemical, more or less of pesticide. So my advocacy point here would be, when we are doing budgets for the nation, we need to think about how do we bring on board the PGS approach or the organic movement, or plan for, these agroecological colleagues. How do we fund, how do we facilitate the processes that can provide safer food? Because, government is talking about their mandate is to provide food. Ministry is assuring that food is available and people can access the food. But the question is, which kind of food are we talking about? It should be food available, accessible, and our bodies are able to utilize it. Meaning it must be safer food that we can sustain over the years, and our generation today and the coming generation should be able to benefit from this. And the only thing we have now is to ensure that we invest in responsible production of food through agroecological means or organic means. This will curb food insecurity, it will curb climate change, it will improve nutrition situation, all at the same time. So I call upon our governments and our actors, our partners who are giving us money, that we invest money in organic farming and agroecology, in participatory guarantee system, in awareness creation, in building systems at the lower local levels, so that we have sustainable means of food production. So I think that is my calling for this afternoon. Of course, also appreciating the colleagues who are doing all they can to ensure that food is available, organically produced. My colleagues on the call here who are doing their very best. If I were a funder, I would give them a lot of money. Pray for me that I get a lot of resources and I start giving you as well. Thank you so much, colleagues, and have a blessed weekend.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard. Thank you so much, Mr. Kakande. Thank you so much, Mr. Echedu Julius. It has been an insight, honestly. And I want to encourage Kakande, Julius. I want to encourage, of course, Bernard, to continue innovating, because you are changing the world. I mean, what we're doing is going to be the benchmark. It's going to be the yardstick for others to follow. What we're doing is good work. I know it's going to take a process to have these products certified, but at least they are there, because it must be there. So these are there, and we have to acknowledge you, because we want to call upon the government of Uganda and of course other governments to ensure that these farmers, these innovators, people are making things that are going to save people's lives, are supported. If there are these laboratories, why don't we have funding for certification? So we can have NGOs that can say, yes, you have a product, but I can fund you to have it certified. Maybe you can talk about sharing profits, because I know people normally sometimes want to feed crocodile. I mean, how do I benefit? So if you can get some of these innovators, some of these funders who can be able to say, this is a good product we are producing, and you want to have it on the market, let us co-share. Let us find a way of supporting you. You want how many millions of shillings to be powered into this product to get the standards. I mean, this is what we're calling for. People should come and partner with Kakande, should come and partner with Bernard, partner with Julius. This is what we are calling for. So thank you so much for the show. Dennis Bongole in the studio, Julius Chedu right there, and of course Albert Kakande and Bernard Bambal. Thank you so much for this insightful show. Every time we learn and we continue improving. Thank you so much and see you in the next show. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Mm.